Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I hope everyone's having an amazing start to their week. It's Tuesday, the 24th of June, and this is your daily market outlook for today. Before we do get into the charts, as always, let me just quickly share my screen. We just want to make sure that you guys know that this content on the channel is for educational and informational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing shared in my video should be considered financial or investment advice, and also trading advice as well. Trading and investing involves risk, and you should always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. So again, any past performances discussed does not guarantee future results. You are responsible for your own financial decisions. So as of today, we're going to be looking at the major pairs as always. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen. But before we do go into the major pairs, I think this is the right one. One second. Before we do go into the major pairs, I'm just going to quickly talk about the news. Obviously, the 24th of June. So what can we expect going into today? Half two, we've obviously got some Canadian dollar news. I think it's half two, obviously my time, which is red folder. And then, in fact, let me just quickly filter this down to this. There we go. So Tuesday, we have, why has it not changed? One second. There we go. So as you guys can see, Tuesday, we've obviously had Great British Pound, red folder news, which was this morning, which explains obviously what's going on there. 2:30, we've got some red folder news here with the Canadian dollar. And then around 4 p.m., we've again got the Great British Pound red folder news, and also the US dollar red folder news, which is Fed Powell testifiers. So again, going into today, we have some red folder news, and then it's pretty much the same as well tomorrow with the US dollar. And then Thursday, we have unemployment claims. So we've got to be aware and prepared for that. Now, leading on to the charts, let's just have a look at what the dollar is doing as we speak. So if we're just focusing on the actual structure that's going on right now, if we look at it from a weekly perspective, let's just see what's happening from a higher time frame. Well, you'll be able to notice that the weekly has been clearly creating that downtrend, them lower lows and lower highs. Very clear to understand. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We come back up, and now it seems like we could be pushing to go even more lower. If you look at the lows here, we have pretty much almost equal lows. This did take out this one, but that is a lot of liquidity that could be held below. If you look from the sideways, we have a lot of lows below, which we could basically come and attack for the dollar. A lot of imbalance as well to fill. So again, looking at the weekly time frame, if I'm going off this structure here, you can see that that was a correction, impulse, correction a little bit, and then could this be the start of a candle like this going into this week where we do have the dollar selling off? So that is from a weekly perspective. And as you guys can see, we look at the structure, we had daily downtrend, we had a lower low. This should have been our lower high, failed to go and create a new lower low, created a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and now we've had this melting off. So this here, is a fractal for our change of trend from here, from downtrend to uptrend, now potentially to a downtrend. So, straight away what I'm looking at is, yes, we've got this big daily candle, going on. Obviously, we have this candle here, which we could potentially come into, but I think it'd be a lot more clearer on the 4-hour to look at. So we look at the 4-hour trend. First thing I'm going to talk about is, of course, we do have this 4-hour demand, which we are tapped into. So if we look at this, if we look at the trend that's going on, you can see from a dollar perspective, we are in that bullishness on a 4-hour. We are creating them higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And then we've had this mass amount of movement down. So eventually what we could see is the 4-hour's now gone from an uptrend to a downtrend. Could we see some sort of correction phase eventually then to go and see that go and create that new lower low? And if we do get that, this would be a great place to basically have that correction phase. So that's what I'm looking at going into potentially Tuesday and the rest of the week. Can we see a lower time frame shift from from here, from this area, to try and look for dollar buys. So yeah, let's just see, because if you look at this right now, you'll be able to see that we obviously have a little pullback here. We come down, tiny pullback. So you can see the 1 hour trend is, still there. We've had this as our higher low, sorry, lower high, and this is our lower low. So what I'm trying to say in regards to that is, in order for us to be confident enough in the dollar buys, I would need to see this area here broken from a 1 hour. I would need to see this area broken from a 1 hour. Because if not, what I would expect is this whole area of supply to carry this on downwards. So as you can see, when we had the pullback, this came into this level of supply here, this last buy there. So again, let's get rid of this for noise. If we do carry on downwards, I'd expect to see a potential pull up and then pull down. Again, that could be down, or that could just be further into the demand. Or if we do get this, then I'll be looking at, potentially looking for longs on the dollar, but not to take out this high. That is, I think that high will definitely stand. So yeah, let's keep an eye out on that going into today. And that leads me on to Euro USD. So Euro USD, as always, let's start on the what's it called? Daily time frame. Ooh. And as you guys can see, we are still extremely bullish from this demand area that we called out. So, obviously we expect the dollar to be bearish. We expect Euro USD to carry on bullish from here. Since I've talked about this, which was around 19th of June, I've been obviously talking about this. It has done, yeah, you can see it's done a significant amount of volume for a major pair. So yeah, man, we called that pretty clean as well. And we're still in that range, guys. We're still in that range where this is our daily higher low and this is our daily higher high. We should be taking out this high. That's my main thoughts. Going into the 4 hour, what can we see? Well, going into the 4 hour, you can see that, we basically called out this 4 hour demand. So again, if you guys would have, took this from the top of the box, you would have got, let's just say, give yourself some wiggle room. 32.5. Oh, you would currently be up around a 1 to 4. I'm going to sneeze, so 1 second. Pardon me. If you would have done, the mitigation of the middle of the box, you would have been up around a 1 to 8, which is a really good trade. Even if you would have put this if you would put this stop loss below the low here, you still would have done around a 1 to 6 so far. Well, probably 1 to 7 there, yeah. Well, 1 to 6.3. So yeah, insane movement so far. But yeah, pretty simple. Inside that daily range, we had the 4 hour trending downwards, and then now we've had that 4 hour bullishness. Yesterday, I talked about the fact of when we broke this high, I would want to see a pullback and then carry on. We've just not had that. And this is the thing with trading is, we can always come on here and predict what's going to go on, because that's all we're paid to predict the market. So we're not paid professionals. Like, no one's a paid professional. I don't care what anyone says. We are paid to predict what we think the market's going to do. You can't be well, you can class yourself as I don't know, a professional predictor if you want, but let's just keep it real. But yeah, as you can see, this is my daily range from here. Am I here to say that we are gonna, see a pullback? I don't know. We're too close to them highs to see that as of right now. But what I would have liked to have seen is a pullback into this area. If I go to the daily time frame, I'm just gonna have a quick look at this. No, okay, go back to the 8. If you look at this whole area, this pullback here, this can be classed as your daily range, even just this area here. What am I doing? This whole candle, this 8 hour candle, if you don't know where to put your, like for instance, your daily demand candle, you can use this. And if we go to the 4, I'd be looking at refining that to this obviously candle here. So, if we do get a pullback, which we should do eventually, this is the area which I would be expecting the market to come back into. around, you know, the 786, 886 areas to carry this trend on upwards. But if we go to the 1 hour, what can we see happening? If we go to the 1 hour, you can just see that we have reacted from this area here. This whole 1 hour demand is where we're currently reacting from. So again, let's see what happens if we get if we get this. You could potentially look for the sells into this area here. We have taken out this significant high. So again, that could be a reason why we take liquidity and then we get that reversal happen. So yeah, keep an eye on that. But as of right now, you know, we are reacting at that demand area. If it was to carry on bullish, you know, could we see this level here? See where the market could pull back into like this and then carry this on upwards. So let's keep an eye on that for Euro USD. GBP USD, let's see what she is doing. Like I said, the GBP USD and EU has been pretty annoying for me personally, because if you look at USD clear upwards trend, and obviously these correlate, so these do the exact same thing pretty much. The Euro and GBP are very similar. So yeah, you can see that this give us a fractal, not a fractal, a daily change of trend. But this is my daily high and this is my daily low. So, you know, it is complete opposites, where this is where most people will be struggling. They'll be looking for sells into this, whilst for your USD, you're looking for the daily leg to give you that higher low to go and create a new higher high. So it isn't correlating as we would like. And that's where you've got to understand what the major, the US dollar is doing, and keep an eye on that. But if we look at this, first thing we want to obviously pay attention to is, you know, if we're talking about reversals from here, that means we should get volume from here due to USD sells. If we get the dollar to carry on downwards, we're going to get GBP USD to carry on upwards. So just be very careful of this. If you prefer the way the EU looks, follow EU on that. But if we look at the daily, this is our daily supply candle. If we go down to the 4, you'll be able to see that this area is pretty much 1 hour, I think it is. It's not 4. Yeah, it's this 1 hour supply candle, but let's just go back to the 4. You can see that we're inside of that range as we speak. So we've had the downtrend, now the 4 hour uptrend, a lot of volume from there as well. So as you guys can probably notice, you know, we'd have to see some sort of significant change in the trend on the lower time frames here to sell this downwards. But don't say no, because again, the dollar is in a 4 hour demand area, even though we are predicting that it could possibly carry on downwards. But if you was to see GU sells, it would be from, I would be looking from this supply area. If you want to be a bit picky, you can use this in case we do take out this high here for the 1 hour. So yeah, let's see how we play out on the 1. If I just quickly go to the 1 hour, you can see still extremely bullish. You can just see that we had the pullback here, and now we're getting this. So what can I expect? This to carry on until we get that change of trend. So where do I expect GU to carry on upwards from, unless we get a change of trend? It would be from this candle here. That'll be my next 1 hour demand candle. If we go to the 30 or 15, you can see that's a bit more clearer. So yeah, as I've just explained, what I will be waiting for is this or this. So let's see what Mrs. GU gives us today, or this week, should we say. If you want to be patient, obviously you can be patient and sit on your hands. AU, again, I am not even going to talk about AU. We had this fractal high broke. So this daily high broke, which it's just been ugly. I've said it for a long time. NZUSD, a little bit different. If we go to the daily time frame, look at that, by the way. We are in this daily supply, but you know, I'm not too sure about NU or AU right now. Not liking the look of it. We've broken this 4 hour trend. So it's the same scenario. If we do get a movement from here, it would be from this, you know, where we're currently at right now. You know, from this area, which is probably better on the 2 hour or 1 hour. As you can see, we can refine it to that. If we go to the 1, oh, yeah, we can probably just refine it to this area here. Oh. Start of this imbalance, top of this range here, so that'd be my 1 hour supply. So looking at this from a 4 hour perspective, of course, sorry, daily, if we do carry on, it would be from here. But just this bullishness for me, if you look at the 1 hour, what can we see going on? We can see that clear upwards trend. If you look at where we're currently at, you know, just reacted from this level here, 1 hour demand, 1 hour demand here, got reacted from. It's just over and over and over again. You were breaking this high right now. So where would I want to see the market come back into? Well, this area here. Well, if I go to the 30 or the 15, it might be a little bit more clearer. But you can see, pull back into this, carrying on. Pull back into this candle here. Let's refine it to that. Bullishness, pull back, bullishness. So two scenarios would be, if we do carry on bullishness, you know, can we see that pullback up here? Or if we get the low broken here, can we see this? So yeah, same scenario for GU. AU, I ain't gonna go over AU. I just don't like AU at the moment. So yeah, let's see that. Let's see, we are in that 1 hour and daily supply. That leads me on to USD CAD. USD CAD. So if you look at what's happened here, you can see that the USD CAD has reacted from this daily supply area, filled in this imbalance, you know, and that could be the catapult now for this to be in, you know, going create that new low and breaking this low here. Mostly if we go to the weekly, yeah, it's not actually that nice, but that filled in this. We had this big candle down, come up, pretty much filled in that, movement down, come back up. So yeah, it looks better on the daily. Let's be honest, it looks better on the daily. Because if you just look at if you look at what's going on here, where's it going? You can see that the market's just working at waves right now. You can see it's just literally having the corrections. So that's what I'm expecting it to do. But looking at the daily, just quickly, as you know, this perspective, we're filling this daily supply. So could we see that low be broken? In order for that to be the case, I would need to see this area of demand broken. So it's two scenarios from a higher time frame. We get this low broke, and we're now looking for that pullback into selling this downwards from this daily supply, or we're expecting this to go and carry on upwards still, and that aligns with if the dollar is going to be bullish from here, then of course USD CAD will be bullish from here as well. So definitely keep an eye out on that. That is a valid demand area. The reason I've gone from, instead of this candle, I've gone from here is just because we have a little bit of imbalance just above that candle there. If you guys can see from this wick to this wick, a tiny bit of imbalance, which we've filled. So yeah, keep an eye on that for USD CAD. USD CHF, we called out the daily supply. As you guys can probably see from here, a lot more cleaner looking, as I said yesterday. Maybe a little bit of that daily break structure, pull back into this daily supply candle. Could this be the catapult now to go and create that new daily lower low? So the range is obviously, as you can see, from this line to this line here, that daily lower high to this daily lower low. Filled in this imbalance, we're getting that movement away. So I do like the look of USD CHF for sells. You know, we're reacting now, we've broken this low, which I said yesterday we wanted to. We've not had that pullback just yet. And that pullback for me would be, I would like to see this area as my 4 hour supply. Yeah, I'd like to see that, but again, we're nowhere near right now. If we go to the 1 hour, you'll just see that we're trending still in the one. So, you know, we got to focus on that. We've chopped. We had the choppiness here, consolidation, started to pull away, you know, created that lower high and new lower low. So I would 1 hour range, where would I expect the market to come into? If it was going to carry on selling, it would be from this 1 hour supply area here. Yeah, again, I'm going to see what happens because we do have a lot of imbalance above. But yeah, that is a valid supply area to see the market carry on in this downtrend. So yeah, let's see what happens with USD Swiss franc. USD Swiss franc and then USD Japanese yen. Pretty much similar. We go to the daily time frame. You can see that we've reacted out of this daily supply candle. You can see this yesterday, this daily candle finished with a lot of volume, and then we've been selling off. So, you know, if you look at the daily fractal, we've got this low here and this high, but we are in this daily supply. So I'm going to focus more on the 4 hour. So if we look at the 4, you know, we did break this low, but we took out these lows and we have this previous 4 hour demand area here, sorry. I don't know why it was pulled out. So I'm not interested in buying this right now. You know, if you look at this 4 hour demand, do we have a 1 hour demand below? Well, that 1 hour got tapped in. No, not really for me. Everything seems pretty corrected. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested in buying from USD Japanese yen. The only thing I'd like to see is can we see some sort of pullback? Yeah, and then lettuce. But let's just wait and see for USD Japanese yen. I feel like pairs like USD Swiss franc is a lot more cleaner. You know, USD CAD looks a lot more cleaner if we are following suit with this. So yeah, man, let's keep an eye out on that. G looks a lot more cleaner. EU can suck a toenail. And yeah, man, that is pretty much it for the major pairs. Again, big news week, so we've got to keep an eye out on that. I appreciate you guys, obviously, as always, tuning in. Hopefully, you guys enjoy me being back on, you know, on these daily market outlooks. And yeah, man, anything that you want me guys to cover, anything that you guys want me to cover, you know, do let me know inside of the comment section. But let's stay connected as always. Go to my bio in YouTube. You've got my free Telegram group in there. You've got my type form. So if you want to work closely on a one-to-one basis with me, you can fill out that and I will get back to you on that. And my Instagram is in my bio as well. But yeah, man, if you are interested in working on a one-to-one basis, you know, I work with other mentors and other, other people that are very experienced in this space, my mentors as well, you know, in the crypto space and the stock space, and also in the trading space and the sales space. I'm very, very passionate about multiple streams of income. So, you know, if you do go to my YouTube, I can't show you guys just yet, 1 second, but if you do go to my YouTube, we will have I do have a type form, should I say, that you guys should see my, no, wrong one. You guys should be able to see my Google Chrome as of right now. And once you click it, all you got to do is simply fill out this. What is your full name and your Instagram? You know, are you wanting more information on what I offer? Click yes. You know, and then are you ready to get started and work alongside myself? If you want to get started straight away, you click this. If you want more information, you click this, and then you enter that from there, and I will get back to you as fast as possible. Other than that, guys, God bless, and we will catch up tomorrow for another daily market outlook. Take care.